like slow the roll. Oh, here we go. Now I think we are. Okay, you guys, I am so excited that I have the one and only Elaine Ma Best. Do you use all three names that are in your profile? Yeah, is that
I
am I
do. I
correcting you
do.
correctly?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. So you all, so many of you interacted with her post from over the weekend that so many of us rallied behind and has resulted in Amazon and other platforms pulling their anti-Asian masks and other items from their platforms to be sold because they were promoting anti-Asian hate. And Elaine, you alerted us to all of this. Did you expect, like, just walk us through what happened? This is a huge success story for this community. I'm so
Aw.
excited to have you here. Thank you.
Well, thank you so much for having me. And I'm so overwhelmed by the support of these women, these strangers who have never met me, come from all different walks of life, or all different ethnicities, all different ages, and you came out in force to support something that needed support, and it really made a difference. It was incredible. So I'll tell you how it all started.
Yeah.
So sometime around after Christmas, somewhere around New Year's, I actually saw someone on my Facebook kind of group, not this group, obviously, but wearing a Thanks China mask. And the comments that this person was getting were all, I love that mask and that's awesome. I'm buying one. Where can I get it? And, this someone that I knew, I'm sure, was wearing this mask kind of obliviously. They probably thought it was funny, you know, but I don't think they knew it was so hurtful and so dangerous. I have to believe that they didn't. And seeing this person in that mask, really felt like to me and probably to others. And in the meanwhile, I'm watching people who look like my dad and my grandfather and my family and my friends. I'm watching these people in the media, in the news, get hit by rocks and getting yelled racial slurs at them and having their businesses vandalized and so much worse. So all that's going on. So about 3 weeks ago, I decided to look up these masks on the internet and see who is selling these. And I saw dozens of sites that are selling these masks, these specific masks. And there's so many hateful things out there, but these specific masks that say, "Thanks, China." And I was really frustrated and overwhelmed. And particularly, I was so surprised to see Amazon selling them from multiple vendors and multiple styles and all of that, and all this hate and t-shirts. And, Amazon, I shop on Amazon. I know people have different feelings about Amazon. I shop on Amazon quite a lot. And it was heartbreaking to see that hate on this platform.
Yeah.
And so I contacted their customer service and said, "Hey, I don't know if you're aware of this, but these masks are racist. They're hurtful. They're dangerous. Please remove them." And the customer service was kind of like, "Oh, okay, thanks for calling this to our attention. We'll look into it." And I looked a week later, they were still there. Nothing had changed. So I called it to their attention again. I said, "Oh, okay, thank you. We'll look into this. We'll get them taken down soon." Still there. And then about a week ago, 8 people were killed in Atlanta, including 6 Asian Americans. And oddly enough, it was not the top story that night on the news. Last night, it wasn't the top story on the news. It very much, when we all saw the official say that the murderer was having a bad day, we all have seen how they are not calling it a hate crime. And it's just, it's overwhelming. That night, I contacted my Asian American friends by text and just kind of checked in with them. "How are you feeling? Here's what I'm feeling." And we were all feeling angry and sad and frustrated and scared for our families and friends. And I think the biggest thing, coming out of that night was I just felt helpless, absolutely helpless about the hate that was happening around our country towards Asian Americans. That feeling of helplessness is just, it's an awful feeling. And I didn't know what to do with myself. So again, that night I contacted Amazon and was like, hey, take these off. And again, nothing changed. So a couple days and a couple nights of not sleeping went by. And I wrote that open letter to Amazon and posted it on this amazing women's private Facebook group. Just this community of women who care. I mean, I don't know how else to describe it. Women who care and know that we can do better. And I don't know what I was expecting. I definitely was not expecting the response I got. Within hours, like dozens of people had commented and jumped up and were just saying, this is not right. This is not right. What can we do? And then, I went to sleep. 15 hours later, over 5,000 women had commented on this or engaged with this post. And thousands of women have contacted Amazon. And less than 15 hours later, they had taken the masks. Amazon had taken the masks off the website and they were no longer available. And it was incredible. I felt a level of love and support, again, from these complete strangers that just was so overwhelming and restored my faith in humankind. And it was just wonderful. And then the women took it further. They started looking at eBay and Etsy and all these other websites that are spreading this hate and asking them to hold their businesses to a higher standard, which is not a hard thing to do. It was just incredidible.
I mean, Elaine, it's so cool. I think over 8,000 or 9,000 people have now engaged with your post, but it's reached even more. So we actually can't even measure. I mean, tens of thousands. It's probably reached at least 50,000 women in the group. So we actually can't even know the number of women who actually reached out to Amazon and other platforms at this point. But you sparked this, you did this. And I mean, I spent time on the phone this weekend with Amazon and both messaging them online and, on the phone directly, going up to the next supervisor. And what we do know, we don't know how many people they heard from. What we do know is that if you click on product after product after product, expressing this anti-Asian hate. And you started this with that one mask, but women found dozens of other masks and dozens of other t-shirts spreading a similar sentiment. And they're gone. Yeah. They're gone. You click on them one after another, and to hear how you had struggled and you'd been doing this outreach, because, it's not as if these hate crimes in Atlanta were the first example of anti-Asian hate that we have had in this country. I mean, by a long shot, obviously. And then during COVID, I know that it has accelerated these cases. And so the service that you have done to just both, inform all of us about this. Wow. Women reached 84,000, over 20 products have been removed.
Oh my gosh. That's amazing.
Look at what you did.
Well, look at what this group did. I mean, really, truly, it's just, I have chills. Like, it is incredible. It's, and it's baby steps. Sometimes we look at all the bad stuff happening in the world and it feels overwhelming. And, it just takes small steps, a whole bunch of people doing small steps to make a difference. And that's what this group did. It was really incredible. I'm just so appreciative.
And Elaine, I just have to say, as the founder of Red Wine and Blue and, the women who work so hard. Our team and all the volunteers who moderate the group who work so hard for this every day. Like, this is why we want a space for women to be able to come together and own the power that we have together, because it is so great. And so I just want everyone out there to feel this and know this. And, don't be afraid to reach out to each other. Don't be afraid to reach out to us at Red, Wine, and Blue. I think that we have a link maybe in the copy above us right now, or in the comments. I know they're sharing too, of, reach out to us. And if you want to get more involved, did you know that there's a weekly Zoom call every Tuesday night where women in this group get together and share, just get together to know each other more and share opportunities of ways we can make a difference together. And, we do regular Facebook Lives where we bring on different people to talk to us about how to become more engaged. This is a group really, though. Elaine, tell us, so is this like what you do day in and day out? Are you like a hardcore activist who just like, tell us?
Yeah, definitely am not. And I think that's what's so special about this group is, in my real life, I'm a mom and a wife, and I am an executive at our local Santa Barbara Zoo. And my background's actually in fundraising. And yeah, this is the first time I've ever done anything like this, honestly. It's just
but that's exactly
amazing.
This is why we're here. Just the power of women in our own communities. You do not have to be an activist to do your part. Look at the difference that Elaine made and helped all of us, the difference you helped all of us make together. And it's such a powerful example. Elaine, can you share a little bit more just, about your background? I think you mentioned in your original post that you're a first generation Chinese American woman.
Yeah.
Tell us a little bit, about, I don't know, your story.
About that? Yeah,
sure.
So I grew up in Northern California. My mom is a mix of different European countries, and my father is Chinese American. He actually was born in China, in Toisan, which is in Southeast China. Came over really maybe around 8, 9, or 10. And his dad started a market. He's a butcher. He and his friend started a supermarket, basically. My grandmother worked in a factory sewing clothes, and they grew up my grandpa still has the house in Oakland. And it's interesting. My dad is part of the Chinese Americans who came over, and every Asian American experience is different, but he really assimilated to the American culture. And I think that's a lot of Asians did at that time. He grew up in a predominantly white neighborhood, and it was kind of sort of in his best interest to assimilate to white culture. And he doesn't really talk about his experience growing up. I know there's a lot that happened, but that's just kind of that generation and that experience that happens. So it's funny enough, it's my mom who really encouraged us to embrace our Asian heritage and to learn about the culture. And I have this really interesting perspective that a lot of people who grow up mixed race, especially when you're kind of 50-50 of a minority and white, you'll hear this experience time and time again when you talk to people that you don't belong one way or another. You're not white enough, you're not Asian enough, you're just kind of in the middle. And it's an interesting way to grow up, and parts of it I love because I get so many wonderful, interesting parts of my life that I think are really special. And then other things, I might not get the direct racism that my father probably grew up with and my friends and my family have grown up with. I get the indirect. I get the people who don't realize I'm Chinese and say stupid things, quite frankly, in front of me. And it's an interesting thing. I get the regular, and there was a great post on the website. I'm not sure if you saw it. someone of Asian American descent asked, okay, people, what questions do you have for people who are Asian American?
Yeah.
And I honestly, my heart jumped because I was so nervous. And I was like, why are you asking that? Don't ask that. It made me so scared. But then I dug into the questions, and they were just really thoughtful questions, people really just wanting to learn and experience. And again, it's like, oh, am I Asian enough to respond to these? But some of the questions were things I really felt like I had a really strong kind of sense of what my experience and my beliefs, and here's what I went through, and here's how I see it. And it was really lovely. It was this really lovely chain. If anyone hasn't read through all of that, it's really incredible and powerful. And I can't remember who the member was who did that, but thank you to whoever that was for posting it. It was really incredible.
Yeah, I think it's still an active conversation going on in that chain, and I agree. It's a lively conversation ongoing. People can still jump in. Okay, so Elaine, before I let you go, I am hoping we can just get your advice, having started this whole thing, for women who would like to continue to help with this, in terms of the products that might still be showing up on other platforms like Etsy. I know that on Amazon, there's still a mask that actually it bears Trump's likeness that you can wear and says China across his mouth. It's a very racist product as well. I personally, and I know many other women in the group, have reached out to them. I've been told that they are going to take care of it, but they haven't yet. So we just got to be women about it. We just got to stay on it, you know?
Yes.
But what else are you seeing on other platforms, and what advice do you have as the woman who got us all going on this good trouble for how we can continue to show up for this?
Yeah. Well, yeah, I mean, that mask on Amazon, I would love to see that go away. I think Etsy, a number of women have worked and been able to get a number of masks down. There's still more on there. I was checking last night and putting in my comments. eBay, someone mentioned eBay, and they're definitely on there. Redbubble has them. There's so many websites. You know, some of the smaller websites are clearly catering to a specific demographic that is just hateful. And I kind of expect we probably can't do anything about those ones, but these bigger websites that are not for the sake of spreading hate. Their whole purpose
who've even made public statements. You know, Amazon and Etsy, these are huge companies that have made statements publicly, you know, saying that we stand with the Asian American community, we oppose racism, we oppose it. So being able to say, okay, I mean, I actually, Elaine, when I call for these calls, you know what I say? I say, hi, my name is Katie, and I would really love to help Amazon fulfill its values.
Yeah.
Let's work together on that. You know?
Love that. Yeah.
You know?
Because, I think I truly believe there's more good people than bad people in the world. I believe that most of these businesses want to do the right thing, and they just are not made aware. They don't realize, you know, I think, yes, that phone call helped people understand, you know, we're all learning, we're all teaching. We have this opportunity to educate businesses and people, and you know, we can help everyone be better.
Absolutely. And we have a lot of purchasing power. I mean, here in the group, there's how many, like, tens of millions of dollars to be represented between all these women. And so I think that whichever platform you actually use, you know, contact that one. They probably have your purchase history. Use that purchasing power, you know, to say, like, this isn't okay with me. So, you know, if you tend to shop more on Etsy or whatever the platform is, also you're on that platform. So take a search, you know, look for where these products might be and copy that link to them, go to chat, enter it there, or enter a review, right? Elaine, let's give people specific ways. You can enter a review saying, are you aware this product is racist? You can
ask the question, and they will post the question on Amazon. So sometimes they won't let you review it if you haven't purchased it. But you can always ask the question, and you can just ask, are you aware this is racist? And I noticed somebody had done that on the China mask, and
I saw that too.
somebody commented, saying, no, it's not. And I responded, and I was like, this is racist. So I think more of us can even respond to
Yes.
the questions on there.
So good.
Yeah.
So we'll have our conversations in the group, and then we'll go have our conversations over on the product review sections of all of these.
Yes.
Yes. That's what we do. So good.
I love it.
All right, Elaine, I just want to thank you for getting us started on this. It's such a powerful example of the power we all have together. And here at Red Wine and Blue, I mean, we were just so excited to see it and pin your post and to see, over 80,000 women engaging on this. This is what we're here to do. There's so much work to do. There's so much power that we have together to do it. So I just want to thank you for leading us in this instance. And I'm so glad to have met you.
Oh, same, likewise. And I just cannot tell you what this means to me. Thank you so much, everyone, for standing up for what's right. I really appreciate it.
You bet. Thank you, Elaine.